Hey guys, Meryl here, and welcome back to, well, not welcome back, but welcome to Minecraft Episode 1. So, I know you might be thinking, Episode 1, why do you already have netherite gear? And I'm like, I don't want to, I don't want you guys to see me grind it out, because grinding's kind of boring, so I just figured I'd start the series where it got interesting, when I started to build and do interesting stuff. So, I've ground up, interesting stuff, like, hold on, let me go here. I think this is my perfect tools box. And no, none of this was cheated in. I did all this legit. I can go back to spawn in a little bit to show you guys. In fact, should I go back to spawn? I was gonna say I was gonna build this house, but I've got all the materials to build this house. But I guess I can go show you guys how I got what I got, because I don't want you guys to be like, oh, he hacked it all in. You know, there's no proof. I can show you the proof. So I've got a nether hub set up, so my base is like 3,000 blocks away from spawn. Like, this is a server that my family plays on, so I'm not the only one who's here, but let me go back to spawn and I can show you guys how I got everything I got. And it's actually fairly easy. I really like nether highways because they make it so much easier. There's the end portal over there. I put that one in the end as well. But here is spawn. Here's where I broke the bedrock to get up here. And here is the portal to, not necessarily spawn. It's not in the spawn chunks, but it is like spawn. And yeah, it's just in a village because I usually start with villages. But yeah, so basically I've got an abundance of villagers. We've got toolsmiths, armorers, villagers. They buy and sell iron. These guys buy and sell glass and paper, and obviously the farmer's the big one, selling pumpkins, melons, carrots, and potatoes. So if I go over here, I've got this massive sugarcane farm, this massive pumpkin and melon farm, and obviously this regular massive farm. Though harvesting those many times allows me to trade with the villagers, getting experience and emeralds. And then I've got a bunch of these guys. They sell a variety of different maximum or close to maximum enchantments for enchanting. And I've got more over here, and there's another one. Well, there was another one right here. This guy was the Riptide one. There's my brother working on a much better house than he had before. Looking good. Ignore the fact I just tried to type slash there. But then over here, most of my experience actually came from this thing. So this is our general mob farm. I should have built it up higher, but I just fly up there and come back down, and it usually works just fine to get plenty of mobs. It's actually how I got a lot of my netherite, because I just kept grinding here to get experience, and along the way I grabbed gunpowder to make TNT to get more netherite. So that's kind of how I got to where I got. Obviously the cleric's buying and selling stuff. And then I'll go into my basement here, because just to show you what I've been doing. Got lots of stuff in here. Oh. Yeah, this is my main project. Well, this was one of my main projects, is getting every single different kind of armor netherite. So this is projectile and this is blast. I need to mostly finish soul speed up for I need like 3 soul speed books. So yeah, that's how I got where I got. You know, it's not like, oh, I'm randomly starting with all this gear. It's like, no, it's been a long 1,000-day grind. Not that I've actually been active for 1,000 days. It's just, you know, it's been a fairly long time. And then I've also got this level 30 enchantment setup that helped to get base enchantments that I could finish off. This is my little hut with a bunch of stuff in it. In fact, let me take some of this back with me. These some of the important stuff. Anything else good? I think that's all I really need to take back with me. That's valuable. Yeah. I'll come back and get it all eventually anyways, but yeah. Time to head back to the base. See you when we get there. Alright, here we are back in the base. Let me go ahead and sleep real quick, and then I'll explain to you the plan. Whoops. So the plan is mostly I'm going to build my house, and I've got kind of a basic plan of what I want in my head. That's why I've got all the materials. This is mostly just everything I'm going to put in one of the rooms, and then this is actually building stuff. We probably won't use it all, but let me actually go ahead and pop over into my creative world so I can show you kind of what I want to do. So I will see you guys there. Alright guys, here we are in my creative test world. Oops, spoilers. But yeah, this is kind of the design I want. It's not going to be quite exactly the same, but it's going to be kind of this small little shack with a few rooms with a tiny roof. And I know I shouldn't have, but I did farm a lot of Prismarine manually, which sucked because there's so many Guardians and you don't get very much. It cost 8 Prismarine shards plus a die to make one of these. So it's like multiple Guardians killed per one block, and I didn't have the time to set up a farm, so I did it all manually. So here's going to be the main room. I don't actually know what's going to go in here. This was just a test. This portal's not actually going to go in the house there. But then we go in this room. We've got, obviously, our main stuff. So we got a composter, our furnaces, all 3 different types. You know, cartography table, jukebox. And there's more that I'm going to put in here in the real one. I just didn't remember them all. And then if we go over here, we've got our little enchanting setup in here, completely enclosed from the rest of the room. And then we can go upstairs where we have a bed and a bunch of storage. I know a lot of people do storage in the basements, but upstairs seems like a good place to store it since I've got all this room up here. So that is the plan. So I'll see you back on the server where we can get started building. Alright, we are back on the server now, and I'm going to go ahead and probably just jump into like a simple time-lapse. I don't have any kind of real time-lapse machine or like software or anything like that, so I'm probably just going to do it super fast, just in kind of my static view. I mean, I hope it's good enough. So yeah, let's get into it. And here we have it, the grand reveal. I think it looks pretty good. I haven't done the interior yet, but the interior is a whole nother story. Let me put these blocks away real quick. So yeah. Oh. I think it turned out pretty well. In fact, I think it turned out better than the creative world. Oh, I just noticed something I gotta fix real quick. Thank goodness I noticed it now before I would have gotten roasted in the comments section. There we go. I don't know how I didn't notice that during the building process, but yeah. So as you can see, I kind of went with more of a modern style build using a lot of the newer blocks from the last couple updates. I really like the way that quartz and deep slate contrast, and then you've got obviously got the jutting out edges along with some fences to kind of just give it a little more texture. The windows, I might have been a little overboard on the windows. There's also a huge portion where I cut out because I ran out of these slabs. I needed 6 more, and they are a pain in the ass to get. Like, you have no idea how long it took me farming these by hand because I'm too lazy to build a farm, because building a farm would take too long, yeah. But I think I'll work on the interior on my own, and then I'll cut again after the interior is done. I just don't want to time-lapse that one, too. Yeah, you can kind of see how it's, like, you know, real, like, it's designed off a real modern house where you have, like, you know, a concrete foundation, some pillars. This is, like, a crawl space. And, like, you know, this is like a porch, so you gotta go up into the house. Of course, I haven't done anything at the interior yet, but like you saw, it'll basically be like in the Creative World mock-up, where it's like, it's basically 3 rooms, bunch of different lighting, different functions. So yeah, I will see you when we get to that portion. And here it is. I've got the interior finished, and as you can see through the window, you can kind of see the library. So let's get into the interior. It's not as good as I wanted it to be because I realized it is 1 block lower than the Creative World. But here you come in, you see the portal. This wall doesn't have a window, and it's just kind of the perfect size for it. And then I put a table in here. Don't know if I'll modify that anyways. And then in here, again, since it's short, I wasn't able to do any of the auto stuff, but I think that ultimately makes it better. Because, again, having these big clunky machines automatically going through stuff, blocking the windows, clunking up the room, just isn't really good. I kind of like this open feel. How you can kind of just walk around and open, you know, if you want to use a loom, you can use it. Basically using any tool you want, plus a little bit of extra storage if you need it. The thing I need is probably put a cauldron in here and fill it up with water for the potions, which kind of sucks, but it's necessary. And then I just decided to put a small little table in here. Like, you know, this is your workstation. You just grab what you need and you start working on the workstation. Then over here we have our enchanting setup. This is a level 30 enchanting. Decided to shrink the room by 1. It used to be a 4x4 room, but we made it a 3x3 room, so that we could center it and do everything, and I think it looks really nice. It's kind of cramped, but that's kind of what the vibe I get from Enchantment Room. We got chest, grindstone, anvil, you know, everything you need for enchanting. And obviously just some barrels for extra storage, just because I had extra barrels. Then we go upstairs. We've got our bed, which we sleep in, and we've got a bunch of extra storage, with more room to potentially put more storage against this wall. I did realize, though, this really isn't a whole lot of storage compared to what it could be. But I think if we fill up this wall, like let's say 2, 2, 2, 2, if we just start filling up the wall with even more chests, I feel like it could be like true mass storage, which I might do. But yeah, I think that's a good place to end this episode. It's like 2 to 3 hours worth of footage to edit and figure out. So yeah. I hope you enjoyed. This is kind of my first experience building an actual decent house, and you know, I feel like I did a good job. It's not the best in the world, but it's not the worst either. You know, I added texture, I added, you know, kind of some contrasting colors, and it looks really good to me, especially up on a pedestal like that. But I'd love to hear comments down below about what you think about this little house I built. Is it good, bad? I also wanted to say the reason that it's smaller is 1, just to be smaller because you don't need a huge house, and 2, well, you got time constraint, and the idea is that everything in this area is going to be roughly a chunk, and this is a little bit bigger than a chunk, but not by much. Like if I hit F3 plus G, come on, work please. There we go. You can see it kind of sits right along the edge of that chunk. Like the actual building is inside the chunk, but some of the detailing is outside the chunk. But yeah, I like it. I think it turned out well, and I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. Oh, and I'm supposed to be doing this, huh? Oh yeah, also, I will probably have a skin in the next one. So look forward to me wearing a skin like this so I can actually talk to you, because I really like that idea of Minecraft, like just being able to talk with a player that's not Steve. So yeah, thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed